You getting it twisted, getting all jelly, cause you think I'm with them, but you know you not ready. My truth got me up at 6 a.m. Tapping in the Zoom, cause my God is the REM. Straight up, he died for me. When I pull up, I know he got me. Don't play faves, we all his queens. When they say woman, they mean God.
Welcome and thank you for joining me this episode of Determined Women of Destiny. If you didn't know it already, I'm your girl, Yvonne, the Motivator Man. My guest today had an idea of what she wanted her future to be as a young lady. And she set out to obtain all of her hopes and dreams. But as life has it, twists and turns, things happen. She had to recreate and think about now how her future was going to be without the plan that she had laid. I want to welcome to the show Miss Lydia Griffin Gaines. Hello, Lydia, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Yvonne. Thank you so much. Let me first just start off by saying thank you so much for this opportunity. God moves in mysterious ways and he has a plan. And I am so thankful for your platform and the opportunity to express the things that have happened to me and hopefully motivate others to get out and, pursue their dreams and not give up on the things that they want to do in life.
Absolutely. Now, Lydia and I was talking. I got to let y'all in for a little secret. Lydia is my cousin.
Yeah.
And Lydia came to New York to visit. And, I have been trying to get Miss Angie Stone on my show, right? And the PR person was going back and forth, and it just didn't happen. So as we're at lunch, we're talking, and Lydia is telling me the story that I never knew. And I was like, wait a minute, you're perfect for my show. And what Lydia and I discussed, and I'll let her tell you a little bit more about it, is that Lydia was already signed up, enrolled to go to this college she wanted to go to. And on the same day, she found out she was going to this college she wanted to go to. She was pregnant.
Yep.
So here it is. Her plans now took a twist and took a turn. And she had to regroup and she had to put stuff together. And her story will let you know delay is not denial. So, Lydia, tell us about that day that you found out, hey, I'm going to college and hey, I'm pregnant.
Man, listen, that was woo. My parents, I thank God for them. They're going on to be with the Lord now, but they showed what we would call, or what they called at that time, that I didn't quite embrace, was tough love. So I go to the doctor's office. I'm scheduled to attend Florida A&M, have been accepted and ready to go. And so we go in for the physical, and me and my mom go for the physical. And they come back and they say to me, "You're pregnant." I was like, "Pregnant? There's no way I'm pregnant. There's absolutely no way." So that was from the urine. So I said, "Well, let's draw some blood." And they drew the blood and they came back. And the doctor said, "Unless you are Mary, the mother of Jesus." I said, and so the tears just started to flow because, Yvonne, I knew I had only been sexually active one time, and it was not fun. There was nothing good about it. So all these things that you hear about making love, and certainly it would be that to, conceive a baby, uh, went out the window. I was like, oh my God. So my mom and dad said, no, you're going to get an education, all right, but it's going to be in motherhood. So we're not going to take the baby and you go on off to college and live your life happily ever after. No, you're going to raise this baby. You're going to stay right here and you figure out how you're going to go to school. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, devastated because I'm the only girl, right? With three brothers, apple of my mama and daddy's eye. And you're going to shut me down like that? But it was a blessing for me. It made me the woman I am today. Needless to say, I did push, and it was hard. It was very, very hard, but I got my associate degree. My dad said to me, listen, I'm tired of you taking this baby from pillar to post trying to find somebody to keep her. So I'm going to pay for 1 year of daycare and then you figure it out. But after that 1 year, It's on you. So I had to be real intentional about finishing. And so I got a certificate of proficiency in accounting. God is good. I went to work for Sears. But again, single parenting. I did marry her dad, you know, trying to make a wrong right. And that's another story for another day. Uh, but
We'll
again,
have you.
God,
We'll have
right,
you back on.
yeah. But God is good. A long story short, I was able to stay in Pensacola, and I was able to get my associate, my bachelor's from Troy State, and my master's from Troy State in public administration. I told you, God is amazing, and He knows the plans and thoughts that He has for us. And I was working at Westinghouse when I got those degrees, and we came to an impasse and parted ways. I'll be honest with you, we're gonna keep it transparent, keep it 100. I got fired, right? And that was another story for another day. But I remember driving home, and both of my parents were retired at this point. And I said, God, how am I going to go home and tell them I no longer have a job? And so I started to want to cry. And the Lord let one tear fall. He said, I got something better for you. Long story short, I ended up going to work for General Motors, and praise God, been able to retire from there. But I'll tell you what pushed me to go to Florida A&M to get my last master's degree. I'm sitting there not feeling challenged. I'm a senior manager. Talked to my manager about getting another degree because I was bored, right? And she told me no. As it turns out, she didn't have a master's degree, so I guess she figured, little Negro girl, you're certainly not going to get two on me. You know what I mean? So,
Not on my watch.
not on my watch. But as God would see fit, I had applied to Florida A&M online program. And so it wasn't 10 minutes, Yvonne, before the girl called me and said, Lydia Gaines. I said, yes, speaking. She said, this is Jacqueline Berg from Florida A&M University. We have an interest card from you for the online master's program. Are you still interested? And I could hear the Lord say to me, encourage yourself, do something for you. And I said, yes, I'm going to do it. Yeah. And so I did. And so when I finished the master's program, and by the way, I finished with the highest GPA among my cohorts, and all of those were young people. So you're talking about the 60 plus lady. For those of you that are listening, I was over 60, probably 62 by the time I finished. Yeah. And high GPA among my cohorts. But when I finished, I was like, okay, God, I've encouraged Lydia, and I put it on Facebook to let everybody know I was going, and ask them to come on with the journey with me, and don't give up, don't give up. And I post my grades, and it motivated so many people to go back to school, pursue what it is that they had given up on. Life happened, and I had to do what I had to do so I could do what I wanted to do. But at this point, I could finish that degree from Florida A&M. So when I finished, I was like, okay, God, what's next? What I'm supposed to do with this? And He said, you're going to birth a nonprofit. I'm saying, come on, God, you got me mixed up with my daughter. She's the one that do nonprofits. My daughter, Kenitra, does nonprofit and has a nonprofit. And He said, no, 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 you got it. You got the time. You have the resources, and you're going to create a nonprofit. And I said, okay, what's the nonprofit? He said, delayed, not denied. I said, delayed, not denied. He said, your degree from Florida A&M was delayed, but it was not denied.
That's what I was going to get to. Now,
Yeah,
Florida A&M was the college you originally wanted to go to right out of high school, right? And that's
exactly.
the college that you were taking the physical for, that you found out you were pregnant.
With Kenitra, who also, not at my urging,
Mm-hmm.
chose Florida A&M straight out of high school and completed Florida A&M. So my daughter finished her degree from Florida A&M before I did. And then the youngest daughter went to Florida A&M as well. And none of them knew this story until I birthed delayed, not denied. And then I told them. And they
My
was like, you
goodness.
never told us that. I said, no, because I didn't want you guys to try to live out my dream. You know
My
what I mean?
goodness.
Right. That was for me. But a perfect name. So Delayed Not Denied Inc. gives scholarships to adults that gave up on education or gave up on a career because life happened. They had to back up and punt, and you got to take care of your business, right? Uh, Initially, I said that,
Did you say back up and bunt?
back up and punt. Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
football. That's a football.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I love football. I
I
love
know.
football. Yeah. But I tell you, in talking to others, what I say to them is you just can't give up. You cannot. And whatever your story is, whatever it is that has happened to you in life, it may have caught you by surprise, but it certainly did not catch God by surprise. And so our steps are ordered, and we want them to be perfect steps, but we're not perfect. So you got to just embrace whatever it is and say, okay, God, what is it that you want me to learn in this season? What is it that you want me to do? And I'll tell you something, to me, that was a hard lesson back in 1974 when I couldn't go to college, due to being pregnant, right? And things like that, certainly today's time and society and things that are available to young people is different from back in the early 70s. But I thank God for it, Yvonne, because it made me the woman I am today. I ended up being a single parent of two girls. And I don't want to say boys are easier to raise, but I can tell you girls can be a challenge,
You know,
So,
I
yeah,
know. Now, how
yeah.
did you juggle all of that being a single parent? Because you went back to school, right? You had a full-time job. You know, you said was gracefully removed to go to your next position. And so now you have this downtime, you have children, you're unemployed, you're at another job, you're in senior management, which means that takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of brain power, and you're still raising this family. How did you juggle all that? How did you make time for everything you needed to do and still have
Okay.
time for Lydia?
Okay. So let me say, getting the early degrees. I lived in Pensacola. Um, all of my family is in Pensacola. My mom and dad lived at 400 Lady Bird Lane. I lived at
That's
409
right.
Lady Bird Lane, right? So the kids could go right down the street. So it was a blessing then to have both parents just right down the street, and they were helpful. On the times that they couldn't keep the kids, I was fortunate. It's 12 years between the two. And so by the time I had the second, matter of fact, another fun fact, when I got my last master's, the oldest one graduated from high school and the baby graduated from kindergarten. So,
Oh,
so we got this real nice picture of the three of us. But I will say that it took the village. The village helped me get through those first 3 degrees. By the time I did the degree to Florida A&M, I was sassy, fat, and happy. The children were gone. They had their own little lives with my grandchildren. So my grandchildren actually came to my graduation, you know? So it was good. I think that was a motivator even for them to know, hey, you don't give up. You just strive and always strive for excellence. Um, God just made a way. I wouldn't lie to you because I'll tell you, in studying and all that last degree online, all of that was new to me. See, I was used to classroom, you know. So now you got to study online, you got to do classes online, you got to take tests online. But again, you just don't give up. You learn, you persevere. God has already put it in you, and you can do it. He never gives a vision without giving a provision. And so I'm thankful for that. And that's the same thing I say about delayed, not denied. Uh, Whatever it is that we're dealing with, it may be delayed, but it's not denied if
and
we
we're
keep
going
our
to
hand in
take
God's hand.
and we're going to take a quick break, because I got to pay my bills. And we're going to be right back. Right back. Sis, you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Everything that our foremothers dreamed of, you are.
Those women were snatched from their homeland, brought to a country that had a climate they didn't know and a language they couldn't understand, but yet they survived. And you, sis, you are the designated survivor. Purchase this journal. It will guide you through scripture so that you could jot down your hopes, your dreams, and desires to live the life that you've been waiting to live and that your ancestors died and fought for. Go to lulu.com, make your purchase today. That's LULU.com.
And welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're checking out Determined Women of Destiny. I'm your host, Yvonne, the Motivator Man. And listen, y'all been riding with me for a while. You know what I'm going to say. Say it with me. If you just tuned in, shame on you because you missed a lot. But that's okay. You can go back and you can check it out and, get it from the beginning. But make sure you tune in from the beginning. I don't want you to miss anything. I've been talking with Lydia Gaines, who is my cousin, I'm so proud to say, and she's the CEO of Delay, Not Denial. I hope I said that right. But Lydia's going to tell us about her not for profit, how she's helping people just obtain their dreams in education that they may have had to put to the side because of raising kids or, work or whatever it was. And Lydia, please tell us, all about this not for profit.
Okay, well, Delayed Not Denied is a nonprofit organization that assists adults with educational desires or needs. I initially thought maybe the Lord wanted us to do a 4-year degree, but he said to me, no, everybody's not college material. There's somebody out there that wants to be a welder, wants to be a beautician, a cosmetologist, or, plumber, but they cannot afford the training that's needed. They can't afford to pay the expenses for the training. So Delayed Not Denied, although right now the 2 scholar recipients that we're taking care of now are pursuing college degrees. It's not only college degree. I got to say that because that's what God told me. It's going to be some people out there that need that. The thing is with Delayed Not Denied, all you have to do is send an email to delayednotdenied74@gmail.com. That 74 is the pivotal point in my life, which my dreams of starting something was delayed, and then 2019 was not denied. So send an email to delayednotdenied74@gmail.com. And all you have to do is tell us why you feel our scholarship should be given to you. The Lord told me, do not judge people on subject and verb agreement or any of that. Just listen to the heart of the people. And so myself and the board of directors will review the essay that you send in. The only other thing you need is to be accepted at a school, because we do not write the checks to the individuals. We write the checks to the school. So we ask that you would send your email to delayednotdenied74, and that's DELAYDNOTDENIED74@gmail.com. Send your essay and your proof that you've been accepted by the college, the acceptance letter that the school gives you, whatever school that is, and you'll hear back from us. Currently, I have 2 young ladies. One young lady, Ms. Rogers, is a soon-to-be graduate of Texas Southern University. We started walking with her. She applied. She was my very first scholarship recipient. And so she went in the fall of 2021. She had already had some college credits, but life happened. She shared her story with us. The board approved it. And so what we decided was, hey, it's one thing to get $5,000 for one semester. Now, what about the next semester? So we just said, hey, let's take care of Ms. Rogers. As long as she makes good grades, we will continue to financially support her. We pay for books, tuition, and fees. So we pay for everything. Yeah. So she is very thankful. Again, I'll say she'll graduate from Texas Southern in May of 2024. The second lady, Miss Franklin, is in Pensacola. The young lady, Miss Rogers, is in Texas. Miss Franklin is in Pensacola. She only did one semester, so we're still, trying to boost her back up to get her back in school. And again, we walk with the recipients the whole way, giving them the motivation as well as the finances and the prayers to get the job done. Whatever it is, any seed that God has planted inside of you, even though you haven't seen it bloom yet, believe me, it's just delayed, not denied. So it's on you to.
So this is an organization that helps anyone, anywhere. It's like the United States, right? It's just not
That's
Florida.
correct.
It's not
Nope.
Texas. It could be New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Virginia, wherever you are. You just send that email, and you and your board of directors will look over that email, and then you'll make a decision to assist them or not.
That's correct. And the only other thing we ask is that they submit the grades. They have to give us the grades because that's a part of the requirements, is that they, excuse me, not only put in the essay and show us the letter of acceptance, but when they complete the course, we need the grades, because I'll need that as a part of being sure the nonprofit does not get deactivated, maybe.
Yanked.
Because IRS will do that, right? If you
Mhm.
got these certain things in your bylaws that you're going to do and you're not doing them. And so that's the only thing that we ask, is that we get the grades back. And it doesn't matter if you didn't do good, you did good. We just need the grades.
So you have to already have been enrolled in college at some point.
No, you do
Okay.
not. You do not.
Okay.
The only thing we need is just proof that you've been accepted. So
Okay.
just like for myself, I had already been accepted at Florida A&M in 1974,
Mhm.
but I
Right.
didn't get to go, right? But
Okay.
we need that, because what we're doing is we pay tuition, fees, books, all of those things to the
Okay.
university. So we
Mhm.
have to be sure that you are a student enrolled at that university or at that school.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get that right for our
Yeah,
listeners. And then at the end of the semester, you have to submit your grades
that's it.
to, let the yourself and the board of directors know, you attended, and this is where the financial assistance went.
Right. And then the thing is, if they need help the next semester,
Okay.
if you have good grades, the delayed not denied is willing to pay the next semester. And
Okay.
again, that's where the fundraising comes in. We trying to be sure we have enough funds to do that. So far, God has been faithful in providing for this vision that He's given us. So every semester we've been able to pay for Miss Rogers since fall of 2021. So that's a long time. That's
Yes.
a long time. And that's including the summer. So they can't go in the summer as well. And so she's done that. And she's a great student. She's probably like a 3.9. She's kicking. I think she's only made one B since we've had her.
That is wonderful. Now, I know you're not for profit, but do you also take donations?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We take donations. Um, we stopped the Cash App because it just got to be too much.
Right.
So we do have Zelle. They can Zelle us at 678-794-4374. They can Zelle us at that number, or they can mail checks. Some people still mail checks. I do. At 5477 Nelson Point Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30087.
Wonderful. And I'll make sure that that information is included on the YouTube channel so people can reach out. I do have a question from one of our viewers, and that question is, wanting to go back to school after all of these years, being a woman of a certain age and having responsibilities, what would be your advice to me?
I would say if you still have a lot of responsibility, take one class at a time. Don't try to take a full load. Delayed, not denied is here to help you, more than willing to help you. Again, I'd say send your essay to delayed, not denied 74@gmail.com. You can reach me personally at 678-794-4374. I'd be more than glad to walk with you. But I would say just take one class at a time. Don't try to take 3 or 4 classes. Take one class, and then maybe the next semester you can do 2. If not, do 1. You know, you got to crawl before you walk. You don't have to bite off. You know, it's an elephant, especially when we get a certain age. That elephant has really gotten big. So you can't eat him in one bite. We have to take small bites until we get him down.
Well, Lydia, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all of the information regarding your not-for-profit, delay, not denial. And I hope to have you again on the show to give us more information about your 2 students that are doing so wonderfully right now and the students that are to come.
Yes.
Okay. Once again, tell us how we can reach you.
Okay. Telephone 678-794-4374. You can, that's my cell number. So you can either call it or text it. You can also send an email to delayed, not denied 74@gmail.com. That's DELAYDNOTDENIED 74@gmail.com. And I tell you, we are more than anxious and excited to support and encourage, support financially as well as prayers to anyone who feels like there's something down inside of them that they need to pursue as it relates to, and they need education to finish it. We're here to support you.
Wonderful. So for everybody who was thinking about how am I going to do this, listen, Lydia is a great resource. Contact her. She gave you her cell phone number, and just talk to her, send her an email, and see exactly how you can do this. And you'd be surprised, this time next year, you may have some letters behind your name.
That's
So
it.
as I always say, y'all keep doing what you're doing until what you're doing gets done. And I'll see you next episode.
There goes a woman of God. They be looking like, whoa, man. There goes a woman of God. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman first. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman too. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman true. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman.